Alright guys, so in this video we're going to be talking about how to get in the water hauling game with zero to no money down. Now, it's a very possible thing to be able to start up with little capital. When I started in this industry, I started off with literally 20,000. I have my CDL, but 20 grand is all I had. And that's with none of the relationships that I have today. If I started, like let's say I lost everything and I started today, I could hop in the game with nothing. Just off of everyone I know, I'd be able to hop back in this game and run like I'm running right now, or do the things I'm doing right now with literally $0. So there's always a way to do things if you know the right people and you know what to do. So we're going to be starting off at the top with a CDL. So this is one of the larger expenses that you guys are going to have to pay for off rip. You're talking about anywhere between what, $5,000 and $8,000 for the CDL. There's people out here in the oil field that'll certify you for literally $2,000. They'll just take you around. They'll make sure that you can pass the road portion of the test. They'll help you with the online portion. Instead of having to go to a traditional school for $8,000, they'll literally do it within a couple weeks for two. So that's like one of the hacks right there. Let's say you don't have that resource and you have to go through the traditional method. You're able to, like I said, I mean, you get a credit card, you get a grant, you get a bank loan to get your CDL. I mean, there's ways around it, So, like I said, go to the bank, get a credit card, save up the cash, talk to the CDL school, see if they have financing options, see if they have any tips they can give you in order to get a grant or whatever it is. That'll cover the first expense, which is your CDL. Second, now you got to buy a truck. How do you do that? Well, you can either save up the money. That's the smartest way to go about it. Bank loan, credit card, obviously. I mean, those are like the traditional financing method. But here's another thing you do. Here in the oil field, there are brokerages out here. There are trucking companies out there that they have a business of selling new owner-operators equipment. So what they'll do is they will buy a truck for, let's say, 15 to 20 grand. And then they will see a new owner-operator like yourself come into the game. And they say, all right, well, since you don't have any money, I will then sell you this truck for $35,000 to $40,000, and I will run you until the truck is paid off. This gives you a benefit because you wouldn't be able to get the truck without them, and now they have some type of reason to work you because they want to get their money back for that truck. So they will make sure to tax you for the truck, and then they will run you until it's paid off. Now, there are also companies out here that will supply you with a trailer, the trailer on the back of the truck, and along with the hoses and the fittings. So they'll supply you with the truck, they'll supply you with the trailer, and then obviously you're getting taxed on it too, because a typical trailer rental out here will go anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 a month. And, a lot of these companies, if they give you a trailer, they're going to be taxing you 10% of the gross revenue. So let's say you're grossing, $50,000 at the end of the month, they're making $5,000 off your ass. But what are you going to do? Because you don't know, who to talk to get a trailer. And on top of that, you don't have the money to be able to throw the first and last security or the first and last of the security, and you don't have the money to go buy all the hoses and fittings. So they're going to tax you 10% to be able to give you that trailer. Eventually, it's important that you get on your own dime for everything. But we're just talking about how to start up with little to no capital. Sorry. So we have the CDL, we have the truck, we have the hoses, we have the fittings, we have the trailer. Now let's talk about insurance. So unfortunately, when you're getting a new policy, you need all your coverages. Your insurance policy, or getting your policy costs money. You have to throw X amount of dollars down. A lot of the time, it's 10% of the total policy, 10 to 15% of the policy you have to throw down at once, which is a hefty payment. Sometimes this could be, depending on how many trucks you are or how many trucks you're running, but for the down payment for the policy, anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 is what you're gonna have to pay for up front. So there's a lot of companies that will allow you to run up under their insurance, and then it completely negates that down payment. Yeah, they're probably making money. They have so many trucks that they have super low insurance cost. So they're still giving it to you for a cheaper price than you would get it on your own. But at the same time, the issue with this is you are now married to this company. You have to only work for them and you cannot work anywhere else. So you have insurance for a cheap price, you're basically their slave. So that's CDL, truck, trailer, insurance, fuel. There's, companies out here that will give you a fuel card and they'll just take it out of your check and they'll make sure to tax you at the end of the month for it. Like I said, it's important that eventually you get on your own dime for fuel because they are taxing you. All right. Remember, nothing's out of the kindness of these motherfuckers' hearts. You know, they're making sure to make their money off of you. And but on the other side, you know, at least they become a partner. Because if they know that they're making more money on you than they are on the other guys, then they're going to try to run you and prioritize you a little bit more. But that's not a good relationship that you want, because it's like I said, I mean, bro, you're getting taxed the upcharge on the truck, the 10% on the trailer, you know, the insurance. You can't go anywhere else besides them. Same thing with the trailer, really. And then for the fuel, you're getting taxed. A lot of guys, they'll give you a line of credit from for the maintenance, for the mechanic shops, because they'll see, well, you have like $20,000 in receivables. So, you know, you could just come take your truck to our shop, and we'll just take it out of your check when you get paid, or take it out of your check, and you don't have to pay us today. You could just make sure to settle that on your next settlement. So that really takes a lot of strain off of the amount of capital that you have to invest, you know? And then advances. A lot of these companies, they'll advance you money. So, you know, so there are some that offer like same day pay. There's some companies that offer um, weekly pay. There's some companies that say they'll pay you within 2, 3, 4 days. Like, but the catch is they're going to tax you an additional 3 to 5% of the gross revenue, which is like a big deal, you know, because like it adds up over time, like very quickly. You know, 3 to 5% might not sound like a large number to you, like just like hearing it, but 3 to 5% in the trucking world is a big deal. So now we just talked about how you get started with like basically nothing. You know, we got the CDL taken care of, the truck, the trailer, the hoses, the fittings, the fuel, the maintenance, and now we also talked about getting cash up front on a consistent basis right away from these companies. Like I said, it's very important that you get on your own dime, but just to start off in the game, if you have no other options, these are some smart ways to go. And this is how you do it in the industry without having any money. So, um, yeah, guys, like I said, I mean, there's really no excuse not to be able to do it. If you guys are hungry for the opportunity, and you guys want to make the extra cash, and you guys are willing to make the sacrifices and pound the pavement to make the phone calls in order to find out what you got to find out, there is really nothing you can't do out here. It's just, do you have the ability to do it? Why do most guys fail? Because they don't understand the game, they don't have the network, and well, that's kind of what it comes down to. Not understanding the game, not having the network, and then not having the work ethic. So those are the main factors why people don't survive in the industry. And yeah, like I said, if everything crumbled yesterday or today, and I literally came out, if I just snapped my fingers, started over, no one knew me, but I still had the information I have today, I'd be able to start tomorrow with nothing. So yeah, guys, good luck. There's no reason why you can't do this shit. All right, peace.